Could it be possible that the Kaaba, the holiest site in Islam, may not exist anymore? Is this a sign from God? Imagine the shock and disbelief among Muslims worldwide if such a monumental structure were to disappear. What could this mean for the future of Islam and the world? So let's dive into this video today to uncover the truth behind this unsettling possibility and what it might signify for believers everywhere. Last Tuesday, Saudi Arabia experienced very strong winds and intense lightning storms, which caused a lot of damage across the West Asian nation. Some people have done something wrong, turning a place meant for prayer into a place for thieves, which has upset the natural order of things. People who follow the Islamic faith worldwide were amazed by strange events happening in Mecca. These events caused a lot of confusion and trouble for those who were on a pilgrimage. Many think these extreme events are a powerful reminder of God's judgment. It's like the big flood mentioned in the Bible during Noah's time. There have been terrible floods, swarms of locusts, and really bad storms that have affected the sacred Kaaba in Mecca. The size of these shocking events has led people to ask questions. They wonder if these are signs of God's judgment or a test of their faith. People are also worried about how the situation has gotten worse over time. Importance of Mecca in Islam. Mecca is a very special city for Muslims. It's the holiest place and where the Prophet Muhammad was born. People go there for the Hajj pilgrimage, one of Islam's 5 most important things. Also, there is a big, impressive mosque in Mecca. It's called the Great Mosque, and it's the biggest mosque in the world. This amazing building wraps around the Kaaba, the most sacred place for Muslims. During the Hajj pilgrimage, millions of people can fit inside this mosque. It's a really amazing sight to see. But lately, there have been some worrying things happening in Mecca. These events have made pilgrims feel concerned and shocked. Disasters and strange things have been happening, making people question if they're signs from God and if something big is about to happen. Some people think that the destruction of the sacred Kaaba matches what was written in religious texts and historical records. Mecca has seen terrible storms, heavy rain, floods, earthquakes, and even a swarm of locusts. Some say these could be signs of God's return. People from different religious backgrounds believe that these disasters are reminders of what happens when people do bad things. They say it's a wake-up call for everyone to be better and to help others. These events make people think about what's really important and to be kind to others. Some strange things have been happening around the Kaaba, like hearing the Quran recited. This has made people talk about what these events mean spiritually. Some people also think that these events could mean something big is about to happen. It could be the end of the world or the time when God comes back to judge everyone. The situation in Mecca right now has left pilgrims and believers feeling very shocked. It reminds them of how powerful God is and how serious it is to do bad things. These strange events make people think about their own beliefs and actions, trying to understand what's going on. There's even a worrying thought that the Kaaba might not be there anymore, like it's part of some bigger plan. These mysterious things happening around the Kaaba have made many people curious and thoughtful. They wonder if there's something more to it than just natural explanations. One of the strange things is hearing the Quran being recited from the Kaaba, which has made people debate where it's coming from. In religious beliefs, wars, earthquakes, famines, and floods are often seen as signs of major events. The floods in Mecca have caused a lot of trouble. Many cars are stuck, streets are flooded, and houses are damaged. It's made it hard for people to get around and for rescue teams to help because the rivers are overflowing. The strange happenings at the Kaaba, especially the sound of the Quran being recited, have led to people wondering if a divine entity is returning. Looking back at history, there's a noteworthy event: the burning of the Kaaba. This historical incident makes some think that history might repeat itself and the Kaaba could burn again. It raises thoughts about what might happen, considering signs of the end times like wars and earthquakes and the possible return of God. Destruction of the Kaaba, a significant sign. According to Prophecies, the destruction of the Kaaba is seen as one of the last signs before the final judgment. Earthquakes and other natural disasters are believed to increase as we approach the end of an age. California, especially Los Angeles, is known for being a hub of media production with movies and TV shows that often depict violence and chaos. Some argue that God has the right to punish such deviations and rebellion against his laws, considering the abundant blessings people have received. Earthquakes affect people worldwide, not just in Southern California. Scriptures suggest that earthquakes will become more frequent and intense before the return of Jesus Christ. It's crucial to be aware of this and pay attention to the increasing number and severity of earthquakes, as they could become exceedingly devastating. Also, earthquakes happen because of natural movements in the Earth's mantle, especially along fault lines or earthquake belts. In the 20th century, about 1 million people died because of earthquakes. Scientists think that in the 21st century, there could be 10 times as many deaths, with the potential for 1 million lives to be lost in one big earthquake. Even though warnings and preparations for earthquakes have been in place for many years, people often ignore them. For example, after a devastating earthquake in China in May 2008, scientists said they knew a big quake could happen along the same fault line, but not enough was done to prepare for it. In the future, earthquakes might happen in places where people don't expect them. Scientists are learning more about fault systems all over the world. Just a few months ago, another earthquake reminded everyone how vulnerable humanity is and how important it is to think about our actions and beliefs. A recent earthquake, measuring 6.2 on the magnitude scale, struck a remote mountainous area between the provinces of Gansu, Su, and Qinghai. It caused serious damage, resulting in the tragic loss of over 150 lives and leaving thousands injured and traumatized. China, especially its western territories like Gansu, Sichuan, Yunnan, Xinjiang, and Tibet, often experiences earthquakes. Some people see these events as a wake-up call from divine power, urging reflection on our actions and the need for compassion and harmony. Not all earthquakes will be natural. A higher power may initiate some as a sign of their authority. These events will directly impact human affairs and serve as reminders of the signs foretold by Jesus Christ about his return. These future earthquakes will be remarkable due to their unusual locations or unprecedented magnitude. They are part of a series of events predicted by Jesus Christ, including conflicts between nations, famines, diseases, and earthquakes happening in various places. Significance of Kaaba. Even before Islam, the Kaaba holds a special place in Islamic tradition. Muslims believe it was built by Abraham, known as Ibrahim, and his son Ismail. Originally, it was a simple rectangular structure without a roof. However, around 68 CE, the Quraysh tribe rebuilt it with alternating layers of masonry and wood, raising the door above ground level to protect it from intruders. Situated at the heart of the Grand Mosque in Mecca, Saudi Arabia, the Kaaba is the focal point for millions of Muslims worldwide during their annual pilgrimage, known as Hajj. As pilgrims approach the Kaaba, their attention is drawn to the striking black cloth covering it, known as the kiswa. This fabric, made of pure silk and hand-woven with gold thread, symbolizes grandeur and sanctity. It is replaced each year during the Hajj season, a tradition that has endured for centuries. The Kaaba is a modest cubic structure, approximately 13 meters tall and measuring around 10 by 12 meters at its base. Its exterior is crafted from granite, giving it a timeless and sturdy appearance. Touching its smooth surface evokes a profound reverence and awe. Understanding the significance of the Kaaba helps us grasp why recent events causing doubts about its existence are so significant to Muslims. The Kaaba is not just a physical structure, it's a symbol of faith and unity for millions of people. If its existence is threatened, it shakes the core of Islamic beliefs and practices. The architecture of the Kaaba stands as a testament to the skill and craftsmanship of many generations who contributed to its construction and renovation. Pilgrims from all walks of life participate in the Tawaf, a ritual where they walk around the Kaaba in a counterclockwise direction, symbolizing unity and submission to God. During the Hajj pilgrimage, worshippers gather at the Kaaba to pray, recite verses from the Quran, and seek spiritual solace. One profound moment is the station of Ibrahim, near the Kaaba, where a stone bears the footprint of the prophet Ibrahim, symbolizing his unwavering faith. The Kaaba serves as the Qibla, the direction of prayer for Muslims worldwide. Muslims face the Kaaba during their daily prayers, fostering a powerful sense of connection and unity regardless of their location. Throughout history, Islamic rulers have prioritized preserving the Kaaba and its surroundings. The structure has been rebuilt and maintained over the centuries to ensure its longevity, with countless generations contributing to its upkeep. This dedication to preserving the Kaaba serves as a testament to its enduring legacy. Despite facing natural disasters, fires, and acts of war throughout its history, the Kaaba has endured and been reconstructed. The recent extreme weather conditions that have terrified Muslims are not the most devastating events it has faced. Early reconstructions of the Kaaba. One of the earliest recorded reconstructions of the Kaaba happened before the rise of Islam. Qusay ibn Kilab, an ancestor of the Prophet Muhammad, oversaw rebuilding the Kaaba in the 5th century. It's believed that during this time, the Kaaba was expanded and raised to a height of about 9 meters. Another significant reconstruction occurred during the time of the Prophet Muhammad in the 7th century. Before Islam, the Kaaba was controlled by various pagan tribes who filled it with idols. When Prophet Muhammad conquered Mecca, he ordered the destruction of these idols and restored the Kaaba to its original purpose. This involved strengthening its foundations and raising its walls to their current height. The Prophet Muhammad himself took part in this reconstruction, placing the iconic black stone, believed to have been sent from heaven, back in its place. Throughout history, the Kaaba has suffered damage and undergone renovations to ensure its preservation. Islamic rulers in different eras prioritized its maintenance. Sultans and kings contributed to rebuilding efforts, leaving their marks on the structure. Sultan Murad IV led a significant reconstruction in the 17th century after a fire caused by an Ottoman soldier damaged the Kaaba. Sultan Murad IV personally oversaw the reconstruction, using high-quality stone and adorning the Kaaba with exquisite calligraphy and decoration. Understanding the Antichrist theory. In certain circles, there's a belief in the rise of the Antichrist, a figure associated with deception and leading people away from God. This belief is rooted in biblical teachings about false messiahs, wars, famines, earthquakes, and pestilence, all of which are signs of the end times. The concept of the Antichrist has intrigued Christians for centuries. Many theories and interpretations have emerged trying to identify this figure and understand the signs of their arrival. One theory proposes a connection between the Antichrist and the Kaaba, the central place of Islamic worship. According to this theory, the Antichrist could use the Kaaba to deceive people and establish a false religion. Supporters of this theory argue that the pilgrimage to the Kaaba, known as the Hajj, could be manipulated to enforce worship and loyalty to the Antichrist. While this theory may pique curiosity, it's crucial to approach it with discernment and consider its theological implications. To understand the alleged link between the Kaaba and the Antichrist, we must first grasp the Antichrist's eschatological significance in Christian theology. According to biblical teachings, the Antichrist embodies rebellion against God and seeks to deceive humanity. Described as a charismatic leader with great power, the Antichrist is believed to perform deceptive signs and wonders, leading people astray from righteousness. While considering the theory linking the Kaaba to the Antichrist, it's crucial to exercise caution and discernment. The Kaaba holds immense religious significance in Islam, and it's important to respect the beliefs and practices of other faiths without hastily equating them with the Antichrist. Christianity emphasizes the importance of love, understanding, and respectful dialogue with people of diverse religious backgrounds. It's essential not to foster a spirit of fear or animosity based on unfounded theories. The Apostle Paul warns about false teachings and deceivers in the New Testament. However, specific details about the identity or location of the Antichrist are not explicitly mentioned. Biblical prophecies are often veiled in symbolism and metaphor, requiring careful interpretation. Drawing a direct connection between the Kaaba and the Antichrist overlooks the broader theological context and misrepresents the teachings of Christianity. Christian eschatology should focus on cultivating a deep personal relationship with God and living out principles of love, justice, and righteousness. In the book of Revelation, the Antichrist is depicted symbolically as a beast rising from the sea. Various interpretations have been offered regarding its identity, emphasizing the need for thoughtful and nuanced understanding, rather than simplistic interpretations based on physical structures or individuals. The primary emphasis of Revelation is not to pinpoint the precise identity of the Antichrist, but to convey spiritual truths and encourage believers to remain faithful in the face of adversity. Engaging in divisive speculation about the Antichrist's identity distracts from the essence of the Christian faith, which is loving God and loving our neighbors. Instead of focusing on theories that breed fear and suspicion, Christians are called to embrace a message of hope, reconciliation, and unity. The teachings of Jesus Christ guide believers to love and serve one another, pray for their enemies, and extend compassion to all. When lawlessness arises, it refers to a disregard for God's ethical standards, particularly the law of love, which commands loving God and others as oneself. Signs of the Antichrist's presence. In times of lawlessness, the standard of love is replaced by the rule of the strong exploiting the weak, which goes against God's intentions. The Antichrist, also known as the Beast, is described in the book of Revelation as a powerful and deceitful entity who will rise to power and deceive many people on earth. The Antichrist will collaborate with the false prophet to establish an image for people to worship in honor of the beast. This image will likely involve submission to the Antichrist, as he will proclaim himself to be divine. The Antichrist is believed to exert control over the world through dictatorial laws, granting him complete authority over economic activities. Those without an approved mark may be restricted from buying or selling, requiring submission to the Antichrist or allegiance to his regime. The destruction of the Kaaba by extreme weather conditions is a significant topic for believers to consider. According to Islamic belief, everything on earth, including the Kaaba, was created by Allah with a specific purpose: to test mankind's actions and determine their excellence. This existence, including the Kaaba, was always intended to be temporary, leading to death and the ultimate end. The destruction of the Kaaba was prophesied by the Islamic prophet Muhammad in a hadith. It was described how the Kaaba would be dismantled stone by stone by a man named Dhul Suwaykatayn, an Ethiopian with two thin legs, using a spade and an axe. In the Quran, Allah revealed how he dealt with an army that attacked Mecca to destroy the holy Kaaba. Allah sent massive flocks of birds that showered them with clay pellets until they were annihilated. Allah's absolute power. According to the Quran, Allah possesses absolute power and can protect or destroy whatever he will. The Quran emphasizes that everything in existence, whether living or non-living, will perish and cease to exist before the day of judgment, including the Kaaba and all other created things on earth. The Kaaba was initially built by the command of Allah, and near the end of times, when the hour of judgment is about to be established, it will be destroyed like everything else on earth. Allah will send a breeze that will cause every living believer on earth to die, leaving behind only the worst of mankind devoid of any righteous actions. During this period, known as the end of times, the Quran will be lifted from the earth, and no one will remember even a single verse of it. There will be no physical book containing the written Quranic Arabic text. Allah will allow the Ethiopian man with thin legs to destroy the Kaaba as part of his decree for the destruction of everything on earth. Allah created everything on earth for a specific purpose, which is to test mankind and determine their actions. The existence of the heavens, earth, and Allah's creations has always been temporary and preordained. Sin, regardless of its magnitude, cannot coexist with God's holiness, and indulging in sin leads to destruction and separation from God. Sin has consequences, and individuals will ultimately face destruction if they indulge in sinful behavior. God wants humanity to set their eyes on Him, and those who choose to indulge in sin distance themselves from God and face the consequences of their actions. So what do you think of God's sin? Comment below and subscribe for more.